10-foot poles. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Geek Spot News. Already got Charles saying hi in the chat.
That's what's up.
Got Dom in the chat already, giving us that patented cheer. Appreciate it, man. Good seeing everybody. Hope you're all having a great week so far.
I remember how to do this.
Do you? I don't. I'm just trying to share this thing. All right, cool. We are shared. We are talking all sorts of things tonight. Wanted to get one in before this new episode of Peacemaker so we could talk about the last episode of Peacemaker.
Oh, crap. That's tonight.
It is. That's in 90-ish minutes. So
yes,
we may be done talking about The Office by then. Who knows? Lots to cover tonight. Some crazy revelations happening in Gen V that we'll talk about at a later date.
Yep.
And and all sorts of other goodness to hit from a news standpoint and what we've been up to. So getting into that, I'm Jack. That's Frank. I'm mirrored, so I don't know which way to point anymore. Yeah, it's that way. Cool.
Yep.
So Frank, how you been, man?
Oh boy, it's been what, a week?
It has.
It's been a full week and more.
Your beard's been on it. Many adventures.
Yeah. The hockey adventures have been wonderful. This is my Sunday League jersey. It's the cereal. They went with the cereal box themes. So I'm on the Blueberry. This is a great design. I have to shout out to 2 and 10.
Nice. It's a good record.
Hockey. Yeah. The 2 and 10 is the name of the company that makes the jerseys.
Oh,
it's not our record. No, 2 and 10 is, I stumbled over what I was trying to say. 2 and 10 is the name of the company that does our jerseys.
Got it.
They're absolutely phenomenal jerseys. Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a lot of hockey. Went to a Phillies game. Was really hoping to see Johan Duran, and the Phillies ended up hitting 8 home runs in that game, so I did not get to see him. But hey, I mean, I can't complain.
No, you got to go to the home run derby.
It felt like it.
Who doesn't want to see Edmundo Sosa hit 3 home runs?
I mean, who expected that, right? Let's just hope that the hot bat carries over when the Phillies play the Dodgers this week, where I will be nowhere near South Philadelphia on Saturday.
As the reviews that I was listening today or predictions that I was listening to kept talking about the juggernaut that is the LA Dodgers.
We beat them. We beat them in the regular season. So anyway, Hershey Park on Saturday that just passed with my son. Had a sensational time. So those of you that follow me on the face pages and the Instagrats would have seen the wonderful beard picture from the one roller coaster.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that long. I thought your face was a lot longer than it really is.
Oh no, this is beard all the way down to here now.
Yeah.
The only little story, the final roller coaster we went on, we went there we went back at night to the after dark. They do a big Halloween theme, like the different areas are set up in different themes. And they have a lot of smoke, and then they have like zombies and different other Halloween-y type people walking around. And it's a really good atmosphere. And they do some haunted houses. And we're walking, and it's like 8:30, and there's a roller coaster, and it's Revenge of the Wildcat. It's like, oh, Wildcat. That's usually like a runaway train kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's get on that. It was dark. It was a little drizzly. And we're standing in line, and we had the fast pass, so we walked by all the poor people and got up to the front really fast. And so we get up to the platform, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not a tame roller coaster. This is the exact opposite of a tame roller coaster. So when you sit down in the chair, in the seat, and thank you, Ozempic, for allowing me to fit in all of the roller coasters this time. It was awesome.
Yeah, last time I was at Busch Gardens, they were like, no. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I had that happen a couple years ago at Hershey Park, and it was depressing. So the lap bar comes down, and it's very padded over your thighs, and then there's a space for your knees, and then it's really padded again down by your calves. And I was like, ooh, okay. And then the oh shit handles are down about where your legs are. So they're not, it's not here. You can hold on here, but the oh shit handles are down here. Like you kind of like lean forward a little bit to hold the handles. So you come out of the station, and it like kind of turns, and then it starts up, comes out really fast, and then it just goes up a normal incline. No, nothing scary about the incline. I am terrified of heights, so I close my eyes going up. We didn't sit in the front; we sat kind of in the middle, and right as soon as you feel the coaster cresting, then I open my eyes, and that's where I made my first mistake. Actually, second mistake. This roller coaster, when you get to the top, nose points straight down.
Oh,
Not an angle. It's straight to the earth. That's why the oh shit handles are down there. Because now I'm pushing myself back. I got air. Just enough air to be scary.
oh.
And that's where the camera is at the bottom of right at the bottom. And as soon as you come out of that dip, the camera's right there. And that picture, I don't think I posted it on social media. I literally have a look of terror. It's abject terror on my face. It was the most fun roller coaster of the night of the whole day. But that initial drop, like Fahrenheit, you sit in like you're in a rocket ship and you go literally straight up. It crests over and it goes straight down. That's work. That you would think that's worse. No, this was way worse. And it went upside down and it went through corkscrews and it twisted and turned and went through more corkscrews and went upside down. It was horrible. It was horrifying, but it was so much fun.
Good. Well, that's
yeah.
It sounds like it ended up being worth all of the.
Oh, it was so worth it. And we got off the roller coaster, and my son said, "I'm done with roller coasters today." We went on every roller coaster there but one, and he's like, "I'm done with roller coasters. If you're okay with that," I'm like, "Perfectly fine." We walked another 5 minutes, and he's like, "You want to get out of here?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Nice.
Exhausted. What about you? What have you been up to?
Watching stuff as I tend to do. I got in a discussion with a friend of the show, Chris, about not knowing, not having seen The Sandlot, because I guess he made a quote, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no. Why would I have seen The Sandlot?
Why did you not see The Sandlot?
Because I was like 16 when it came out, and I was busy watching Clerks and Pulp Fiction and
Dude.
Reservoir Dogs and all those kinds of things, or doing other things that didn't involve screens in front of me at the time.
Did you go back and watch it finally?
No. I was asked. I was told to wait and invite him to the live show because he's one of our dear friendly podcast listeners.
Yeah,
who listens to the podcast stream every week. So we'll see. Maybe by Christmas we'll have to work that out, and I'll give that a watch because, as I said earlier, I have finished that show that I've been trying to get through for feels like 9 years at this point.
I'm excited for I am I know that the big running joke is that I don't watch anything, and the last 2 weeks have been so busy that I haven't had a chance to watch Gen V. I've come home from hockey and pretty much gone right to bed. And I have planned to watch it this weekend. But not seeing The Sandlot. Oh my God. And you like baseball too.
I do.
Oh,
I like professional like I like The Natural.
Right.
I don't know how in I am on little kids playing baseball with I've seen bits and it's the same as Shawshank, right? I've seen it because it was on TV all the time, just playing in the background.
Yep.
That I wasn't paying attention to. But I don't like, I get the "you're killing me" Smalls quote because I've seen that clip, but other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I definitely I want to know when you watch that because I'll rewatch it just to make sure that I'm caught up on it. It's one of my favorite movies.
All right.
And Charles, yes, I would like to get out to Nobles Grove. I've heard they have some really good coasters too. Before I'm too old to be able to ride coasters.
Is it Nobles or Knobles?
I think it's Knobles. I think.
It's one of those few times, or is that us Easterners that don't know that the K is silent? I don't know.
I don't know.
Charles can let us know in the chat there. Yeah, I watched that. There was a big Marvel show that dropped that I'll talk about in a little bit later
And
on. All of my not all of, but plenty of my news feed is them changing cosplayers into zombies
yeah.
because I guess that's the new gimmick.
And
It was a show. Like I said, I'll give more thoughts on it in a little while. I watched all that. The Only Murders in the Building, Daryl Dixon. A lot of stuff came out. A lot
you
of
watch
stuff to
way
watch.
more stuff than I have.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of Gen V. So much good stuff on Gen V.
Well, the only the reason also part of the reason is Borderlands 4 has just come out. Okay, so the K is Cybele, so it's nobles. There you
Got
go.
it.
Borderlands 4 came out 2 weeks ago, and
Mm,
all the free time that I had was trying to get my character up to level 50,
yeah.
which I'm still not at level 50. I'm almost there, but great story, great game, a lot of fun. Just needed a break from Destiny, which is in an awful, 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 awful place as a video game.
Oh,
Losing players and streamers and content creators, like left, right, and sideways.
oh, that sounds great.
But anyway,
And then this Saturday I got the Union. If you see the shirt,
yeah. So this Saturday is God bless you for going down there because
I'll be on the other side of the stadium. It's all good.
yeah. But what time is the Union game?
7:30.
Okay, so you have the Flyers at noon now. They moved their game back. I think it's their last preseason game.
I can just take 476 and bypass the whole city.
Right. And then you have the Phillies at either 6 o'clock or 6:30,
Yeah.
depending on the outcome of the Boston Yankees game, which I'm sure I'm dipped out to go stream that as he does. And then the Union game, and then
Yeah, and the Union
go
playing
home.
for if the Union win, they have secured the Supporter Shield, which is the best record in all of soccer for the
No
Union.
shit. In all of
In all
their
of MLS.
MLS.
Yep.
Now,
It means they are the number, regardless of the playoffs, they will have the Supporter Shield, which means that they have the most points for the season.
and then they go into the playoffs for
Then the playoffs start in a couple weeks for the Cup.
what's the cup for that?
It's just the MLS Cup.
Okay.
I think it's because all the other ones have names
they-
like the Lamar Hunt Trophy and all those kinds of things. But
Right.
yeah, no. So we'll find that out Saturday.
I mean, good luck to the Union.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild there.
I can imagine. But I want to hear about the journey that you have finally completed.
This can be the list of all of my least favorite Office episodes.
Yeah, I have no list tonight. This will be fine.
It's fine because there's look. It was one of those. I was at a point where I was like, I can just finish this damn show. So I did. So I think I had 6 episodes left when we got here.
I think you had just finished The Farm, maybe? Or
That
did you not
sounds
get to The Farm?
possible. I had watched The Farm. Whatever. It
That was
fine.
written and directed by Toby.
Sure was an episode, that one.
Yeah.
Let's see what episode I had finished. I had finished Stairmageddon.
Oh, we got through to Stairmageddon. Okay.
Yeah, so only 4 complete episodes left.
Right.
Unfortunately, for me, 3 of those episodes are 2-parters. Because all of a sudden the show decided,
2.
We should do a lot of 2-parters to close out this show.
Only 2. Only the last 4 were 2-parters.
No,
Right, so it was
no.
4,
AARM was a 2-parter too.
right. And the finale.
And Living the Dream was a 2-parter.
It doesn't show as a 2-parter, but I'll
Maybe it was an hour-long special because it's definitely a 2-parter.
okay. That's fair.
Yeah, it was. That's what I didn't realize. I was like, why are there so many episodes left? Because there's all these 3 parts. So anyway,
Yeah.
So we'll hit. I will give a spoiler in so much as my opinion on The Office is no different than my opinion on The Office was a week ago.
Fair.
But so I got through Paper Airplane.
It was fun.
Toby got his voice back, which I guess we forgot that he lost, and then immediately gets a paper airplane in the eye.
Yep.
There's a new paper company, so they're wasting paper to make paper airplanes to promote the new paper. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not a new paper company. It's just a new line of paper from Hammermill, I believe it was.
Maybe it was Hammermill, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not a new paper company. It's just a new line of paper.
That they're going to waste making paper airplanes.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. So Andy's practicing with industrial chemical instructional video that he's asked for.
Yes.
which is just a waste of a plot line. This whole episode, like, just
So, did
go
you
ahead.
notice how they took Andy from being a good character at the very beginning that had potential to then all of his breaks, every time he came back from a movie break, the character changed and became worse as
Yeah.
and then to this point, the character was just an absolute waste of time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree
I
with
mean,
that.
I don't know that he was ever not a waste of time, but he has become more of a
Well,
waste of time.
yeah,
Ever since, even before anger management, they had written him into
yeah,
being a kind of a waste. And then they were like, oh, but now he's back and he's interesting because he had anger management training. And
right.
we're going to force him down your goddamn throat
Well,
every episode until you like him.
yes,
It didn't work out. Um, so, and they actually, there's I think it was last week where they take a jab. Maybe it's in this one. I don't know. We'll see. I think it is in this one where they take the jab at Ed Helms' actual acting, which I appreciated. So we get him practicing for that, and then going on the shoot with Daryl, which is weird. Couples therapy homework for Jim and Pam, so we get that where they're fighting the whole episode and passive aggressive complaining with each other. And it feels like it's only been like a couple therapy sessions so far. Nellie forgot to tell everybody there was a $2,000 prize at the contest because
she's an awful
she
human
doesn't
being.
even know why she's still on the show.
Right.
She's like, I don't know why they're still filming me, or I still have a job. Makes zero sense that she kept her job with the David Wallace move. But whatever, she was under contract. Get Angela moved into a studio with her baby and her 16 cats because apparently the senator doesn't get bad press from blowing off his kid. That seems weird.
No, not at all. And being gay.
Well, yeah, but he was already in office, so like whatever. But like the fact that there's not a scandal about him abandoning his child, weird. I mean, there's more to that later.
Actually, I never thought of that. I never thought about it that way.
Like
But
you're going to tell me that a state senator is allowed to just abandon their child and
I
nobody
mean,
cares? Okay, cool. And her 16 cats. You find out that Jim doesn't know a lot about Pam anymore because she switched from tea to coffee, blah, blah, blah. Aaron gets going super over the top to Clark with the paper airplane competition. And we kind of dropped the whole Aaron plot storyline completely at this point. Like they're kind of there, but nothing anymore with that because I guess they realized that didn't work.
No, it's still there.
No, I know, but they don't dig into it the same way they did, other than him thinking it's awkward with her being so over the top with the paper airplane thing. And then Andy can't squirt water in his eye, and this is like a 10-minute fucking part of the episode where Daryl has to go hold his head down so he can squirt water in his eye. And now at the desk trio, Pam's still there at the sales desk. Jim gets his. Clark's in Dwight's desk now because Jim had kicked him out earlier. There was a whole thing about who gets to sit where at the desks because Jim decided he wanted his job again, so Clark gets screwed and sent back to the annex.
Right.
Cool. And then Jim and Pam fighting, and then he leaves to go to Philly, and then they come out and they hug, and we get a montage, and apparently they love each other, and everything's great again.
Yes.
That was the worst resolution of that.
So one little side note, and I didn't want to say this beforehand because I did not want to ruin the Jim and Pam arc for you, was that originally Greg Daniels pitched to them to have one of them cheat on the other.
Yeah.
And they both nixed it. Pam
did. 100% Pam cheated with that Mike guy.
John Krasinski put his foot down and said that he didn't want to screw the fans over by building this years long relationship up with Pam to have one of them cheat. Then them getting back together would feel cheap. So they nixed the whole cheating storyline.
Oh, I buy that he didn't cheat, but she 100% banged that camera guy. 100%.
I choose not to believe that.
Yeah, there's zero doubt in my mind that she got with that Mike dude.
I choose not to believe.
She's an awful human being, so I have zero doubt.
Zero doubt. Continue.
Yeah, She definitely did. And it's all better because she's Pam, and everybody loves Pam because she's awful. So that was the end of that episode. Everything's better now because they hugged and
Yes.
they realized that they loved each other. Great. Then we get Living the Dream, part 1. Right, no cold open, just full credits right away. Jim was already taking time off from Philly because now that they love each other, he's not going to Philly anymore.
No.
And he said, "You know all that money I invested that we didn't have? Screw that. Who needs that? Or to make that business
$10,000 that I put in,
or make that business succeed, or the paycheck I was getting from them that allowed me to afford being part-time here.
Right.
And I can just snap my fingers and I'm full-time again in Scranton." Okay. So Clark apparently doesn't have a job anymore. Oh, this is where he kicks Clark out of the desk.
Where he kicks Clark out at the end of the episode.
Right. It's the middle.
Yeah, in the middle. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, Christopher from The Sopranos shows up. He's Dwight's new sensei. Because Dwight wants to have a black belt ceremony at the office because he thinks it's actual skill and not just paying money for years to get a black belt.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was fine. But David Wallace shows up.
He was invited. Dwight invited him.
No, that wasn't why he showed up, though.
Yeah.
He showed up because he had to...
Oh, because he was going to fire Andy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because Andy's been wasting office money buying a photo printer, asked David Wallace for cheek implants. So David Wallace came because he had to let Andy go because of that.
Right.
But then Andy tells him he's going to leave Dunder Mifflin to become famous instead.
Right.
Great. And since Jim decided to hang in Scranton, he kicks Clark out of his desk so that he can hang with his wife.
Once Dwight got the promotion.
Nope. No? This was way early in the episode.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I apologize.
Yep.
You're
so
right.
then Clark's saying Jim can't be there just for Pam. And then Dwight defends Pam and says he'd be happy to see Jim as manager of the office because Jim's great. Because all of a sudden, again, no development to get here. Dwight, Jim, and Pam are all the best of friends and have each other's back completely.
They are.
Like, what a waste of years of all of that. So then Jim tells Wallace that Dwight should be the manager because Dwight's the greatest thing since sliced bread, according to Jim all of a sudden now. Because Dwight's character's changed drastically. And then Nellie and Kevin try to talk Andy out of leaving. And this is where that joke that I said from earlier, where basically Kevin goes into the office and just tells him this big meta thing about Ed Helms as an actor.
Yeah.
And was like, you're not funny.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're not super funny. You're not super talented at singing. You're not any of these things. You just have this, you can make this joke, and that's what you go with all the time. And then all of a sudden, again, Jim and Dwight completely civil to each other, have each other's backs.
Yep.
Out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then Wallace says, "Hey, you can stay as a salesman." And then, so then we get Andy stressed out the rest of the episode trying to decide if he made a mistake or not. Then invites Dwight into the conference room at the end of that first part of the episode.
Right. I remember.
Right, then we cut, and then we get Wallace offers Dwight the manager spot. And Jim and Bam are still super lovey-dovey all around the office now because they're the greatest couple ever. And then Andy takes Dwight's desk immediately. And everyone's very excited all of a sudden because none of them remember Dwight from last time he was the manager and was an awful person. Instead, Dwight is, they're all super excited. Creed stands on his desk and says he's the manager now, which was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
He gets some better moments in season 9 than he's had in a couple years. Creed does. And like I said, I don't know when Dwight became loved around the office all of a sudden. He immediately kicks Clark back to the annex and moves Jim up front. Dwight does. And offers Jim the assistant to the regional manager job. So we can play with that for the next 3 episodes. And then Andy quits again and tries to make it so that he's not rehireable. He goes to Toby, tries to grab Toby's junk for a while to make him not rehireable. Doesn't work, but I don't, and then he goes and craps on David Wallace's car instead.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a quick left turn for that whole, like, just crapping on his car is kind of weird. It was kind of like just
all of this stuff with Andy.
Yeah.
This entire season, like it's like they gave the writing to a 5-year-old for Andy this season.
Andy had one really good moment from now to the very end of the finale, Andy had one good moment.
Was it
You'll
Old
get
Man Andy?
No.
No, we'll get there then. We'll see what happens.
We will.
So he quits again, but refuses to leave the office still, even after that. And then he comes back up after crapping on David's car and sings Sarah McLachlan.
Yes.
And then we get Angela's still a hot mess, and all of her cats are taken away. And then Oscar says, Angela, you can move in with me, because that makes sense.
Sure.
And this is all still the same day.
Yeah. That's a long day.
Which is wild. And then Jim's company gets a buyout offer, which Jim, I don't know how he's still involved in, because he's only been with this company 6 months and is already taking a leave of absence. They want them to go pitch their marketing out west. Daryl stoked, can't wait to go do it. Jim says he can't do it because of Pam, and Pam says that's fine. I don't care. I love you so much that I don't want us to be successful and set up for life. Why would I want you to go get a massive multi-million-dollar buyout for your company? For 3 months, that's not worth it.
Well, so one thing I always wondered was he stopped working, but he was an initial investor in the company, so he probably still has a stake in the company. Like he's just not actively working for them. He put 10 grand up. You would think,
but we don't know how much the other investors were. That could be like a 0.5% share,
right? But I mean, is he still has a small stake in the company? But I get it. Right. Go ahead.
And then we get all of a sudden Angela tells Oscar she loves Dwight at the end because he's the boss now, so she loves him again.
Well,
sure, or whatever. I mean, they've gone back and forth here and there, but. You know, as with Dwight always still longing for her and her always blowing him off. They've done a little bit to build that back up. Like the one where she was taking care of his aunt. Right. So that's the end of that episode. 2 long episodes left.
Yep.
Where we get AARM, the acronym for Assistant to the Assistant Regional Manager, which we find out throughout the episode. We get the increased security during the cold open. Dwight gets steamed.
That was funny.
That was good. Creed using it for his dry cleaning was great. He's like, I've been saving a fortune on my bills. Like I said, Creed has some good moments through the rest of this show. Finally,
yeah.
And then we get Dwight's getting engaged to, I don't even remember her name, the
milkmaid,
his Lancaster girl.
Yep.
It's also weird. There's all these farms up by Scranton. I don't know if that's true. Are there farms up by Scranton too, or are they just out in like the Lancaster? Because they feel very like Lancaster, Harrisburg area. Which is not near Scranton. But anyway, so we get that, and Andy's going to audition for America's Next Acapella Sensation.
Right.
So can't wait to talk about the butt ring and his acapella audition for the next 2 episodes here. And Jim's blowing off the Philly office that he's an investor and part owner in, and was one of the bosses a week ago about the roadshow that they want him to go do because he's the best salesman they've ever seen based on his paper skills.
Yes.
And blowing off Ryan Howard, but whatever. And now Pam realizes that she's awful and destroying her chance for a massive buyout, but she's not going to do shit about it. It's fine. And we find out the documentary is finally going to air. So we're finally at the 9 years of filming this before they had enough useful footage to actually show a TV show. All right, let's think about that part for a second. It took 9 years to get enough footage, and somebody funded these crews to follow all of these effing people all over the country.
Yep.
For 9 years.
Yep.
For whatever reason, and not even air it forever. It makes no sense.
For PBS, no less.
Right. I mean, I don't know what that is anymore, but different podcast. So, and Angela brings the baby to the office, which makes Kevin super jealous. So we get that for 2 halves of the episode now. Nice Mark McGrath cameo. Appreciated that. A little Sugar Ray cameo. And Andy starts
on me.
And Andy starts hitting on a girl in line and vice versa. And then
I think she more hit on him and he was just clueless.
She wanted his spot in line. That's all.
Well,
yeah. She was using him.
Yes.
And then he's so delightful, in a chick magnet. So then we get Daryl shows up at the warehouse to return a truck because he'd moved all his stuff to Philly already. and was already living in Philly full time. But they don't need anybody to manage the warehouse because apparently that's not important here. So that's fine.
Well, no, he hasn't managed the warehouse in a while. It's been the
I
other.
thought he was the
Oh,
still.
he was like the executive
Yeah,
manager, right? But
yeah.
the chick
Yeah,
managed
Val
that,
was running the warehouse now,
right?
but like there
Right.
was still the liaison, which we just
Daryl was just an office guy. He
pushed
was a
that off to the
popsicle.
side.
He was a popsicle.
Well, yeah, but and apparently now he did get back with Val, but then we're just going to blow that off the rest of the season until
Right.
the finale.
Well, he only got 2 episodes.
Sure. And then Jim's going to give up his job in Philly, right? Just so he can keep messing with Dwight. That's the storyline that he tells himself.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't get to mess with Dwight, like, because we've set up that it's like millions of dollars on the line here with this Philly gig.
Yep. But pulling
but
pranks on Dwight is more important than making money and setting my children up for life.
Right. The children that we have ignored so far most of this season.
Thankfully.
Yeah, but that's their whole premise, right? Watching them evolve. Anyway. And then Daryl gets caught by Pam at the donut shop. And since no one is working on this day to audition from Jim for the AARM spot, because this whole episode is them all trying to get this assistant to the assistant regional manager spot that Jim has set up. So the whole office stops working for the day, and then they catch Daryl in the warehouse because they're all in the warehouse and not working.
Right.
And Pam's upset that she's not enough for Jim, so she asked the film crew for a favor. Or he asked the film crew for a favor.
The film crew. Yes.
God, yeah. Because they have 9 years of footage, and she could just wait till the end of the night and watch the documentary to see how awful she was to Roy and everybody else around her forever. And the clips of her banging the mic guy. But no, we'll see. And then Dwight's plotting to go get with Angela by the end of this episode. And then we get another break. And then because Dwight wants to test the baby to see if the baby could be a beet farmer because he feels so bad for Angela being abandoned by the senator. And again, the senator saying, "Child, away with you." No consequences for horn-rimmed glasses guy.
None.
And then Andy decides, you know how I'm going to get on here? I'm going to get a gimmick, so he makes himself up to be as an old guy.
Yes.
And then when he gets back, they close the line, and he has to go bum rush his way into the audition because there's a film crew and a documentary crew they're filming this part. It's weird.
Correct.
And then we get, even fitting for now, Aaron Rodgers.
We'll do anything for a paycheck.
Yeah. Clay Aiken and Santi Gold, who I've never heard of Santi Gold. So
I did not know who that was either.
I'm guessing she has not gotten big.
She had a studio album in 2008 released by Atlantic Records, met with widespread critical praise for its cross-genre blending of dub, new wave, and hip-hop music.
Great.
Yep.
I'm sure she's done a lot since then. Maybe she has. I don't know.
Maybe. But she was born in
so he ends up...
She's from Philly.
Oh, well, that's why she did the show. But Andy didn't have anything prepared, apparently, for his audition, and just sings the Cornell fight song, and then an old show tune, and then sits down to cry.
It's exhausting.
It's what they did to Andy's character is they should have gotten sued for making people watch what they did to Andy. And we get Angela and Oscar get Kevin to like Philip by tricking him. Which is fine, whatever. Daryl's going to do a last dance with everybody in the office, is his agreement, because they're all so sad he's leaving. And he doesn't want to do things with each one of them because he just wants to leave. But he'll do a dance.
Right. One dance.
Yeah. And Jim tried to show Pam the video, but then Dwight actually asked Jim to finally work for the first time in Scranton ever. Because he needs to ask for advice about Angela. And then Pam's too impatient to wait for Jim because, again, she's awful. And can't just be like, my doting husband clearly did this for me and would like to watch me experience it, but F him. He doesn't deserve that. And then Jim is telling Dwight to go to Angela, then gives her the... Then Jim goes back and gives her the card from the teapot from that episode way back in the day.
We got a really nice song from Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
Over the video.
This is all still the same day. I want to point that out.
Yes.
So, like, the film crew already had this in the bag, probably because this is what that guy, Mike, the camera guy, or Mike guy, used to take home and watch every night,
Oh boy.
is my guess. So I'm sure there's stuff that we weren't allowed to see that was in this back pocket video they all had ready to go.
Oh boy.
Um, and then on their way to the bar, because they all love each other and are going to watch the documentary, Dwight pulls Angela over with this thing and then proposes to her. And she says, "Oh my God, Philip's my son." Okay, great. Or Phillips is your son, which is why the senator apparently was fine blowing off the kid because he knew it wasn't his because they probably never did it.
Right.
Still all super weird.
But
and Angela's just as awful of a person as Pam.
the biggest problem I had with this episode was the fact that they went to a bar to watch a documentary about themselves. Instead of gathering at someone's house where you could hear everything, you went to a bar to have it put on TV at a bar.
Yeah. Or, staying in the office and watching it in the conference room.
Right. Right.
Okay. Well, if they hadn't gone to the bar, how could Andy have shown up? Right? That's the whole reason was
doc.
So Andy could show. I was like, okay. Right. So they turn the doc on and piss everybody in the bar off. So I'm sure that went well.
Yep.
They probably got it on one TV with no sound on in the corner while everybody else is watching the game.
I did like that when they started the documentary, they showed the very first scene from the first episode. Now, if you were an actual fan of the show, that would have touched you and you would have been like, "Oh, that's awesome." But you probably got PTSD from seeing the very first scene of the very first episode again.
I just didn't care. I was just excited to finish the show. Yeah, like I said, there's look, and I get it. The show probably should have. There's a reason that the English one only ran for what, like 2 series. I think the British office ran for what, like a year.
I think so.
Like not long, because there's not 9 seasons worth of story. That's for damn sure. Let's see, ran 2001 and was 14 episodes long. This one was 188, 206, 7,000.
201 episodes.
Yeah, 200 too many episodes of this show. But it's good reason that the one in Britain ran 14 episodes. This probably should have been closer to that. So all right, so let's hit the finale so we can finally stop talking about this godforsaken show. So now we jump by a year, and everything's great in paper office land. All new people, and the camera crew sends a new crew out to get bonus DVD footage for the DVD that's going to come out now for this massive hit of a documentary.
Massive hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was bigger than the Civil War, or the Jazz Era, or whatever the latest one that Ken Burns did around then. Oscar's running for Senate, which honestly, important point for this series follow-up to this show.
I totally forgot about that.
Oscar's a big deal in this finale here, and again, running for Senate.
I forgot about that.
Dwight's getting
play into that.
They're coming in for Dwight getting married. Stanley, we get here's everything that happened for the last year that the documentary crew was there for, because we're seeing footage of it, but they weren't there for any of this. But that's cool.
Yes,
I get it, because we need to do flashbacks, but then don't do them in documentary style. But whatever. Stanley retires, gets a cake. Then Kevin gets a cake. Says get out, and they fire Kevin. And then Toby gets one, and they fire Toby. I don't know that the office manager should be able to fire HR, but okay, because he works for David Wallace, not for Dwight.
Right.
Cool. And Jim now bikes to work because it's healthier and better for the environment, but Pam still drives in.
Right.
From the same place.
Right.
So no real benefit.
Not really.
No benefit.
Nope.
And Dwight has them all doing morning yoga now because he thinks yoga is good, which I don't buy that Dwight wouldn't think yoga was the stupidest thing on the
Japanese do it.
Yeah, I know, but it still seems
gung-ho.
It's not American though. Have you seen Dwight?
Have you seen Gung Ho?
I have.
It's a good pull, right?
It was. It's one of my top movies about the automotive industry in Michigan and
Same.
the union busters back in the day.
Same here.
And Michael Keaton's great.
Top 5.
So Creed's been arrested, or actually is wanted for having done all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yes.
They hired Devin back he was the Buffalo office, right?
No, he was in the Scranton office in the very first episode.
Oh,
He sat back with Creed, and so in the very first episode, a lot of the office people were like writers and like behind the scenes people that they just kind of used to fill the conference room.
yeah.
And Devin lasted, I want to say, a handful of episodes before he got fired. He didn't really have any lines.
I thought he was a character that came from the other office.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong there. All right.
No. Devin from The Office. Yeah, he lasted into. Hold on. I'll tell you while you're.
Yeah, like I said, I thought that he was one of the ones that came over with Andy
No.
and everybody. But like I said, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was the episode where Michael was forced to fire someone at the end of the month, and it was a Halloween episode, and he fired Devin.
Yeah, I thought that was when they came back from Buffalo.
No, this was Christmas Party was, my God, it was season 2. He lasted into season 2, episode 10, season 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm making it take longer.
No. That's fine. Yeah, I don't remember that at all, but okay. I wasn't taking good notes back then either. So
No.
So and then and Jim is Dwight's best mensch.
Yep. Bestest mensch.
Yeah. Okay. I guess things have gone great for a year with Jim and Pam still hanging out at the office, losing all that money. And we start cutting to the airport a whole bunch for people flying in. We get Daryl flies in wearing a suit, taking a limo. Athleap has been a huge success in Austin. He tells the camera people. Andy's at the airport too, and his sad audition went viral. He had a bunch of parodies for Baby Wawa and all sorts of stuff. It was fine. Kind of funny cutting through all the stuff with Andy. But also I don't know, like over the top for sure. Nellie moved to Poland for some reason. Toby flies in from New York after getting fired because that's where he went to write his novel and lives in a weird situation with some roommates. They're all coming in because there's a reunion panel for the documentary.
Yes.
Great. And it's the middle of the day, so the office closes.
Of course.
So they can all go to a bachelor party in the middle of the day.
Yes. Best time to have a bachelor party.
Yep. And give Dwight a bazooka to shoot. And the bachelorette party makes 0 sense. Is at Schrute Farms at the house.
Yep.
And suddenly we meet Angela's sister.
Yep. Rachel Harris.
Yeah, who's great. But like could have used her years ago.
Could have.
Both parties get a stripper to show up. A weird part with the women is it's Meredith's kid.
It's great. That was awesome.
Her trying to get in. You see Mose spying through the window. And Jim, for some reason, decides to videotape Dwight and the strippers thing.
Yes.
It was weird. Also weird that they do all this for the documentary crew. But cool. And then Mose kidnaps Angela because it's part of the ceremony. And then they are all waiting at the bar because that's where the bar that Jim decides to take Dwight to next. After the weird dinner thing that I don't know if they ever even ate.
It's not bad pranks. They're guten prank.
Sure.
They're good pranks.
Right. Because Kevin's had enough money to buy a bar.
Right.
And is bartending at his bar that he owns.
There's actually an explanation for that. Hold on. There's an actual. Wait.
Is it all the money he embezzled from Dunder Mifflin?
No. There's an actual reason for this.
For him bartending or owning a bar?
for him owning a bar.
Okay. Well, while you look for that, he and Dwight make up. And then after all that, Dwight goes and lets Angela out of the car trunk, leaving her there for all of that time.
So Kevin was able to afford the bar due to an unaired storyline where his newfound popularity after the documentary led to people buying him drinks constantly at that specific bar, building up substantial credit that he then used to leverage ownership of the bar. That's the storyline they went with.
I'm glad they didn't bring that up.
Yes, that would have been awful.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So then we get the reunion panel. Stanley lives in Florida. He flies in for it after he retired and got caught by all his cheating. He lives with no connection to anybody on like a bit weird on the river. Good for him. Wallace shows up to the panel too. Question about how Pam paid Jim back for the sweet video. And my thought at that point was she's still awful and I'm sure did nothing for him. Which, we might find out differently later. I stand by the she's still awful part. And then they call Pam out for not handling the Jim move to Philadelphia right, which agreed. For that much money, you let him go travel for a few months. And then and then sell out his shares and stay in Philly. Like that's.
How about the woman that had the question for Jim?
Oh, that she would do anything for him?
Is there a question? No.
Yeah. Look, good for him. Well, that was when they were trying to remake Krasinski at this point into McDreamy.
Right. Which they ended up doing because of his other movies, but that's another story.
Yeah. Look, and then we get Joan Cusack and Ed Begley Jr., who are perfect as Aaron's birth parents.
At the wedding.
Well, no, they show up at the
Oh, that's right. They show up at the
convention.
Yeah.
At the panel.
The panel.
And I could have sworn, and I know I was wrong because I went back and looked, but Ed Begley Jr., I was like, didn't he interview for the office manager or show up at some point earlier? It wasn't him. And I didn't realize that one of the new people they'd hired, because they hired a bunch of new people, was Dakota Johnson. Didn't put that together for a while.
Yeah. So Dakota Johnson said she had the worst time on the set because she was led to believe that it was a little bit of a larger part. And she filmed a ton of stuff, and they used like that much of it.
I mean, she was on it quite a bit. I just could. I was like, I know who that is, but I couldn't figure it out because she was so.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it first either.
This was right before 50 Shades, so she was still, young and innocent. And her name's Dakota on the show.
Yep, that's something they did that was pretty fun.
And then Creed shows up at the wedding. With the beard, and everyone they're all walking in, and everyone's giving them cats. I guess to make up for the 16 she had lost a year before. Though I don't know how you're going to keep track of that many cats on a farm, but whatever. Kelly shows up with Ravi, and then Ryan shows up with a baby because he's a single dad, and they named the kid Drake. For reasons. And then Jim last minute backs out as best man because he's much too young and handsome to be the best man.
Significantly younger.
Yeah. So then we get Michael showing up.
That was nice.
It was nice. We not. I don't know. I'm sure part of it's that I can't stand the show, but like I felt like there could have been some more back and forth there. Like Michael barely spoke most of what he was there for.
They only had him
for Michael.
They only had him for a short window, and they got what they could, and they didn't even tell the rest of the cast that he was coming at first. It was like a big thing back then. All of this I read
because it was it was very like for having him. It was nice to see him there, but like not a ton, right?
Right.
Phyllis carried Angela down the aisle. What do I have there? And then they get in their graves to get married. It's weird.
That was a short tradition.
Philip is the same size Philip was the year before because they used the same kid.
Babies don't grow.
Right. And Kevin, who they just made up with the night before, is doing a reading at the wedding.
Yes.
and was not invited to the wedding the day before.
No.
Yeah, but he's doing a reading. Cool. And the wedding guests all have to carry their hay bales back to the reception. So I guess this means that the party revenue for Schrute Farms never kicked off the way that he planned it to.
Probably not.
Because they seem to have way nicer things than hay bales when they had Andy's promotion party.
No, beats are slower.
Sure. And then Ryan gives Ravi the baby so he can examine it because the baby's breaking out and freaking out. And he does that so he can hit on Kelly. And he's just as awful as ever because he let the baby suck on a strawberry, which the baby's allergic to.
Yep.
So that Ravi would go look at the baby. We get the realization that Michael has multiple kids.
Yes, with Holly.
Right. It's only been 3 years since Michael left the show.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Maybe they adopted.
Sure. And I feel like there was also a storyline where Michael had 17 vasectomies back and forth.
Yeah, he had a couple.
Yeah. So, okay, cool.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Cool. And then Kelly and Ryan make out and whatever, and they leave. And then Ravi gives Ryan's kid to Kevin because that seems like the most trustworthy person to give a kid to. And then Nellie steals the baby and is going to take him to Poland to live with. Cool. Val is with Daryl, so they're still together. So they made it through all this stuff. Apparently.
They made it through. Because Daryl's now probably making a lot of money, and Val realized, I'm going to hang on.
Maybe, but did she move to Austin because she wasn't at the airport with him?
I don't know. Maybe she was just a booty call back in Scranton.
Maybe she flew in later.
Maybe.
Because she didn't have to go to the bachelor party. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe they didn't feel like paying her for the extra day to have her at Angela's party. Because another year working in the office, and I would assume Val had moved up and took over that office. Whatever.
Could be.
Too much backstory wanted there for a half-hour sitcom. I get it. And then there's an after party at the warehouse, sponsored by PBS.
Yep.
And yeah. So and then Jim and Pam get home, and Dwight and Michael's ex is walking out of the house. Because again, Pam's awful and has been trying to sell the house out from under Jim with no plan. So they can move to Austin for the job he left a year ago at a year plus. I don't think that's how that works with jobs.
Yeah, it does. For the office, it does.
Does it when you say like, hey, I quit?
I don't know
do
if he
your
quit.
thing?
I don't think he quit. I think he just took a step back and didn't quit. That's how I choose to believe it.
Cool. And then the minute that they see Jim, they say, we want to buy this house.
Yes.
So now they have a house that's sold, 2 kids somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Probably with the mom. Probably with the mom.
Sure. And they're going to move to Austin.
Yeah. I don't see a problem.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing. Cool. They don't deserve a happy ending, those two, on this show like that. Pam redid her mural at the warehouse. Apparently, over the course of the last year, she finally got rid of the butts. And did all the office people in it instead.
That's cute. There.
Sure, though none of them are still there, so a little weird. Like, I made all these people that none of you working here know.
Yeah.
Into a mural that you all have to look at every day, all day. I would hope she didn't get paid when she made it that way. And then the office crew goes back upstairs, and Pam answers the phone and says, Jim doesn't work here anymore. Cool. And then we get a montage of every fucking character on the show to kill time. Angela and Dwight decide to show up, and then Dwight fires Jim and Pam so they get their severance for each year that they were there, because Dwight, again, is a good person all of a sudden. And
Andy has the line of the series.
I didn't write the line of the series down. What was the line of the series?
I wish you knew you were in the good old times before they passed, something like that. It was like, It's a great line.
Yeah.
It is a great line.
And I left out the Andy stuff because I was so annoyed by that storyline.
I get it.
No, so not the line. I mean, but he went and he got a job at Cornell in the admissions office because apparently he gave a great speech when he was that was the quote, right? Was from his speech that he gave.
Andy's line was, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you actually left them." That's actually a really, really good line.
It
in
is.
general.
It is. So then we get Dwight says Pam's his best friend. See, look at Pete jumping in. He must be watching from the beginning. What do we get there? Yes, Dwight says Pam's his best friend, and he loves Jim. And apparently Oscar does origami that we never knew about. Creed has a nice moment where he's serenading in the office with the guitar.
Yeah.
Instead of Andy for whatever reason, and then he goes outside and gets arrested. And then Pam, continuing to be awful till the end, steals the painting that she did way back in season 2-ish.
Yeah.
The little drawing of the office that she did of the building. And then that's the end. And thank God the show's over.
I enjoyed it a lot more than you did. That's for sure.
It feels that way.
I'm gonna take 2 minutes because my God, that was an hour of the Office recap.
There was a lot to recap there. It was not an hour. It was
no, we just ran. You did an hour.
No, it was
like 50 minutes
from 13. It was 43 minutes.
That's a lot. The paper. I'm 5 episodes into the paper, and I don't like it. I'm 4 episodes ahead of you, and I don't like it as much. There are cute characters, and it's got potential. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it, and if I do finish it, it's not going to be anytime soon. I'm a lot more excited for the fact that Scrubs they're actually on set in trailers filming. I'm more excited about that. But we'll have to.
So I watched the first 2 episododes. Well, all right. I watched the first episode and a half because I was like, all right.
Right.
Let's see. This show got moved from Peacock to they're going to air it on NBC. It's going to be great. Apparently, they have mad promise behind this, and they think it's going to be a hit on regular TV. God damn, this show is even worse than The Office.
It's really not good.
And the premise of it, which you had said is like a good premise, I was like, is it?
So I enjoyed the tie-in. Now, we're going to obviously spoil this because if you haven't seen it, you're not going to see it.
Spoilers for the first minute and a half of the paper.
Literally, the documentary crew goes back to Scranton. The original documentary crew goes back to Scranton to do a catch-up 20 years later on The Office. And The Office is gone. But Vance Refrigeration is still there.
Well, Dunder Mifflin is not in the building anymore.
Gone. Vance Refrigeration is still there. And Bob Vance explains what happens and gives a little kind of gloss over on Stanley and his wife keeping in touch and
apparently Rainn Wilson was not available because he, I guess, sold the building. Maybe we don't know.
I don't think they wanted to be in it. I think they all kind of were just like, let's not touch this.
That would have been my first play. Would have been, hey, let's say we talked to Dwight and he told us this because he still owns the building,
right? But so another company bought Dunder Mifflin out and they put something else in its place and they tracked the parent company all the way back to the Midwest, right?
Enervate bought out Dunder Mifflin.
Right.
Enervate closed that office and multiple other branches because Dunder Mifflin was nationwide.
The Scranton branch was the only one that was working.
Right.
Like weird. Selling.
Yeah, sure. But Enervate bought the paper business from them and moved, and they didn't move. It's, again, weird the way they do this. But they have an office in Toledo, Ohio. So not far from Scranton, honestly, like maybe 6 hours.
Why did I
7 hours?
Right.
And they sell toilet paper as an office. And that's what they sell, which Dunder Mifflin never sold. So weird that it converted from a office supply paper business to a toilet paper business, and also bought a local newspaper that had been there for 100 years.
Right.
That's still in the same office.
Right.
Again, very loose ties.
Very loose ties, but
for no reason that they did for this show.
it was the easy. I guess it was the easiest way they could. And then the cast isn't bad, but the stories are not entertaining enough.
It's similar to the way The Office was for me. Like, I don't know that it's a comedy.
I don't know what the hell it is.
It's not a drama.
It's not a drama.
It's just awful storytelling.
And it's
and
pretty plain.
Oscar's here.
Right.
Senator Nunez has
No.
moved to Toledo, Ohio.
No, not Senator. Just Oscar.
Maybe. We don't know. I mean, I'm not 5 episodes in, but at least the first 2 episodes.
I haven't seen 5 episodes in. I'll spoil it and tell you I haven't seen anything. Oscar's very standoffish.
Yeah, he doesn't
want to be about episode 5 where he kind of softens a little bit towards it.
Which this is one of the funniest moments in the paper that I saw so far, where Oscar's like, "I refuse. I'm not signing anything. I'm not going to be part of your show." And they were like, yep. And they pop up a little word balloon where it's like, actually, his original NDA from 2005 never expires.
Right.
So he's still in all of this. But it's a lot of just Oscar going, "No, I can't. I don't want to see tell me what happened to Oscar."
Right. I don't know if they're going to, and I haven't looked ahead. And at this point, I'm probably just going to look ahead to see what the hell happens.
Yeah.
And you can already see that the new editor of the paper, played by Domhnall Gleeson, who's really good, and the only chick that like actually does reporting there, played by Chelsea Fry, they're the two that are going to get together. And she 100%. Kind of encompasses all the Jimisms. She does the look to the camera. She kind of has that Jim vibe-ish.
Yeah.
And I saw an interview with her on late night with Seth Meyers or whatever the hell show's called. And she even said that when she first started doing it, they told her she was a little bit too much with the looking at the camera thing. But that's her shtick, is the Jim look at the camera. So honestly, I don't care what happens. It's already got a greenlit for a season 2 somehow. So I'm not really that interested in watching it at this point. I'm moving past The Office now.
Yeah.
As are you.
Yeah. Look, I may go back. I couldn't finish episode 2. It was so
I'm
bad.
not ready to go back to it. I'll wait.
The co-lead supposedly is actually as Sabrina impacted.
She's phenomenal. She's great. I love her character.
Really?
Yeah, she's an asshole.
I hate it.
She's an asshole.
It's obnoxious to watch.
Yes.
But you enjoy that?
I enjoy her because of how much of an asshole she is.
Yeah, I can't. I'm like, I have zero interest in watching this on my TV. So we'll see if I can revisit the paper, but I guess I should, since I already invested so much time in it. I hate watching The Office.
I'm gonna throw a couple of quick newsy things at you.
Yeah,
really fast.
Actually, all of the reviews on IMDb are everything's great except for Esmeralda.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or maybe she keeps taking me out of it because the way that character is played is so awful.
So Highlander cast a second villain.
Oh, and this plays into both your worlds.
The movie Highlander, yes. Jeremy Irons was cast.
Oh, not who I was thinking of.
As one of the Watchers. If you're familiar with the Highlander lore, one of the Watchers that basically watches. Watcher. Yeah. He's the leader of the Watchers, the secret organization tasked with keeping an eye on the Immortals. I think that's a good casting.
Yeah.
I texted you earlier that there are 2 actors in talks, supposedly to headline the Miami Vice movie. Glenn Powell and Michael B. Jordan. Would be great if they played opposite roles. That would be hilarious.
It would.
It'd be great.
Wait, I thought there was another casting that
for that movie
for Highlander.
Was there another one
that would play into your?
Oh, what? Karen Gillan? No, was it Karen? The Karen Gillan casting?
No. There's a big wrestler that just got cast in that movie as well. Drew McIntyre.
Oh, that's right. Drew McIntyre got
as his brother.
As his brother. I think it's Angus MacLeod. Maybe.
Yeah, I figured that's the one you were going to talk about.
I totally forgot about it. It's a great casting. Drew McIntyre is great. I love that, and he's actually legitimately Scottish, so that helps.
It does.
Rings of Power.
Love it.
on Amazon.
Love it. Let's do it.
The Rings of Power signed a deal with the Tolkien estate to do 5 seasons.
Yep.
If they do not do 5 seasons consisting of 50 episodes, Amazon has to pay a kill fee of $20 million per season for what they do not deliver.
Well, it's nothing.
Not to compare to what the
original buyout was like $2 billion. No, I mean they bought the rights for $2 billion or something. Like,
yeah, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
40 mils, nothing.
Yeah,
that's not even salaries.
Do you wanna cover some of the other stuff you watched before we jump over to Peacemaker real fast? Because
look, I will if we're gonna have another show. Hopefully, I don't know if Monday. We'll see.
I don't know about Monday yet. I gotta look at the schedule. It's weird the next couple of weeks still.
Look, I will continue to say Daryl Dixon this season better than. Hold on. Just update something when I do, because if you are listening on audio and you didn't notice in the notes, it tells you when we talk about what. So you can go do that. Should on the streams too after the show's done. Anyway. So yeah, Daryl Dixon season 3 is the best season of the show by far. I think it's having Carol there now and for him to play off of in real time it's great. Even though half the show's in subtitles because they're in Spain now. But I really like the way they're going with it. It's weird what they're doing with Daryl's character, but overall the show's been really good this season. Only Murders in the Building continues to bring in new guest stars and be better and better. Diane Wiest is fantastic. Tia Leone's great. And like I said, you can, dude, it's the people, everybody in the industry wants to go guest on this show because it's such a great cast and great environment, and everybody just loves being there and showing up. And you got Meryl Streep. Come on. So that's also been great so far. It's almost over though, which is wild to me that it's already 6 episodes in.
Wow.
And only 2 episodes left. Gen V we'll talk about soon.
Yes, we will.
And Marvel Zombies, I will hold that till next week.
I'm not watching it, so
I know. Look, it's another episode of What If, and it tells you, because there is a quote from who's Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, where she's like, "Oh my God, that came out. I recorded my lines so long ago."
I read that. It was she recorded them during a pandemic, she thinks?
She's in the whole thing. She's like one of the main characters in the entire thing.
Right.
They had a huge premiere for it like 2 weeks ago. It shows you where they thought Marvel would be because of who they show importance for. If anybody remembers the Marvel Zombies What If episode, it's centered around Spider-Man, but not not Tom Holland, and what's his name? And Paul Rudd was the other voice in that one. You get a disembodied head of Paul Rudd that is now flying the Doctor Strange's cloak around. Weird. And I forget who else was in that one. It might have been Chad Boseman in that episode.
So I know that the only thing I know about this is that the scenes with Black Panther in it, they purposely didn't voice. They purposely didn't put a voice to the Black Panther character. They had narration over it. They didn't. They that's how they kind of honored Chadwick Boseman. It is his T'Challa, but they didn't use any voices for him at all.
Right, for 2 reasons. One, to honor him.
Right.
2, they didn't know what they were going to do at that point. Like they didn't when they were doing, because it's the same animation style as What If, which I don't love that animation style, so that hurts the show for me personally.
Right.
But they didn't know, like, are we going to recast? What are we going to do? So like it was easier to just do the narration. So as much of it was also they didn't have a decision made as much as it was a tribute. But I'll go more in depth on that next show. But if you skip it, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
If there's not a season 2, it's a complete waste of a show.
Right.
And if there is a season 2, odds are, given how long it took for this season, because they announced this in 2019.
Yeah, it was a long time
2020.
Back. Yeah.
2020, I think. It was at Comic-Con when they announced, or D23 when they did all their TV announcements.
Yep.
Because we got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man announced at the same time. And I think season 2 of that's like next year. So I don't know if they filmed more episodes of this. I hope they did, because it leaves on like, hey, there's more to come. And if there's not more to come, it was a complete waste of 4 episodes. It's if you're not into the movies that came out the last 5 years for Marvel, this is not the show for you.
Right.
Because it features Riri and Shang-Chi and Awkwafina's character.
I don't hate those characters as much as you. I hate's the wrong. Maybe
and the Eternal Sum. And look, Miss Marvel is the star. Love Miss Marvel. Hate the way she's portrayed in the show.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like, it brings you everybody that had a show after Endgame is all of the stars of it. So it's like, hey, this is who's going to be the people.
Right. And it's not.
No, and we haven't touched any of it, so I'm not invested in any of these characters. I think the way they expected people would be by the time this released, if this released on schedule.
Right.
But it's also weird that after it dropped, it's gotten a lot more press than it did before it dropped, which I guess that's the way they're going to do marketing from now on, where they're like, oh, look, show came out. But hey, now, this show's already out. Go watch. Like, it's weird. Anyway. Yeah, I'll talk more about that next week. It's not great.
The Peacemaker stuff, to quickly spoil that, because again, we ran horribly over, which is fine. But Peacemaker's also starting from this in like 15 minutes, and I know I want to see it without getting it spoiled.
Yeah.
So if you did not watch episode 6 of Peacemaker,
6, yep.
This is your spoiler warning. And there you go. So the big cameo from the episode was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. It was fantastic.
Yeah, so everybody's gone. Rick Flag Sr.'s got to find a way to go get them. So who knows more about interdimensional jams in this world.
And apparently this cameo is a huge setup for Man of Tomorrow.
Interesting.
This is a huge thing. So everything they're doing in these next 3 episodes are going to shift everything in the DCU, and there's a lot of repercussions for what happened in these episodes from what James Gunn's been saying. And I did watch the after podcast, or at least some of it, and I saw look, the standout. The
podcast is amazing.
The standout stuff from that episode was, number one, Jennifer Holland's phenomenal this season. Her acting is great. Vigilante in this episode was probably the star of the show for me.
Yes, we haven't gotten enough of him all season, so it was nice to see him.
And him playing off of himself was great.
We're doing the Spider-Man thing.
It was great. It was just like him walking through the house and pointing out all the differences and laughing, and his dad being there. And James Gunn said that he had written a scene. And he, first of all, before they go into the other dimension, he's such a dick to his mom.
Oh, he's wild.
And the story that he tells about his girlfriend and breaking up with her, and that he told his mom that she's like relaying to hardcore now, is hilarious. There's so much stuff to cover in this episode, and I'm just trying to gloss over the fun stuff.
But do you think his dad's really not gay, or is he just in Nazi USA?
He might just be in Nazi USA.
So he's a little more closeted than he would have been.
Yeah. So they make the big reveal at the end of the episode that they are on Earth X, and that this is the Earth where the Nazis won World War II. And James Gunn had a long conversation with Danielle Brooks, who plays Adebayo, about the scene that she has at the very end of the show, where she's like running from all the white people, basically.
I mean, where the quote from Keith is, one of them got out. Yeah.
He yells, "There's a black."
Well, he said one of them got out.
Yeah. Right.
And then he says,
so I'm really curious to see what that means, basically.
Yeah, I think episode 7, I watched the preview. We're going to get some stuff in the regular Earth, where I think we get either a new character or another cameo, it looks like.
I can tell you that he confirmed that Superman does not make a cameo in Peacemaker?
No, this is who we sent Lex to.
Okay.
Because who Lex sent Rick Flag to. Because there's
Right.
somebody you sent him to, and that's who we're going to get introduced to
You
this
think
episode.
it's the engineer?
No.
No?
No. Do you mean your engineer from
No,
WandaVision?
no. I mean the engineer in the freaking...
Also no.
Okay. Who do you think it might be?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't know how they're going to play this. Could be Otis. I don't know.
That would be
Look,
good.
I don't know why Rick Flag didn't go talk to Mr. Terrific, honestly. I don't know why you go to like the biggest mega villain instead of going to the fourth smartest guy on the planet. Third smartest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Weird choice, but whichever. So yeah, I think we're going to get that cameo. I think episode 7 though is going to be like, here's how this world got here.
Right.
I think we're going to get a big chunk of like, this is this Earth's backstory.
Yep.
And all of the stuff you all missed and didn't see to keep this reveal.
Episode 8 is supposed to be the longest episode of the season, longer than any of the other episodes, which is great because these are short episodes. I
mean, they're like 40 minutes.
Short. They move though. Like these episodes move.
Compared to The Mandalorian, it's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that trailer last week?
No, we can save that for next week.
Yeah, it's so good.
I have my own thoughts. This episode overall was really, really, really good. There's a lot of setup, and I'm looking forward to the fill in of what all happened.
Yeah, the acting all around this season, like there's been nothing to disappoint about Peacemaker this season. Even the opening credits that I was like, I don't like this song as much. I'm into now.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't skip it because I learned my lesson last season. But like now I'm like, well, now I'm excited that this song started, and I'm enjoying the opening. I'm like, damn it, because somebody had said something I listened to said like after like 4 episodes, like no, you're back into it, and it's just I'm like, and it's true, and it annoys me.
Yeah. But I'll save all the like little Easter eggs and stuff for the next episode we do, because now that we don't have the office in there,
Thank God.
we can get the normal stuff.
And then we'll do a 6-episode rundown of Gen V for next week. So stay tuned for that. But
hopefully,
thanks everybody for finding the Geek Spot.
Yeah, man.
You can check me out at Jack Kid Music. Got a country club job tomorrow, Saturday. I'm kicking off Parkland Fest Community Day in Langhorne.
Oh, nice.
With the band. It's a big festival for Uptown String Band and for the community. So
nice.
It's free and in the area Saturday. You can stop there. It's going from like 12 to 4, I believe. And then go somewhere and watch the Phils afterwards. But that's where you can catch me out. Frank has
nothing this week.
If you missed it last night, you should go find it on the YouTubes and watch The Island of Relevancy. And then catch them next week when they talk about all the latest. I'm sure there's some exciting news over in the wrestling world for them to hit.
Always exciting news in the wrestling world.
There we go. And if you'd like to see the pictures of Frank's beard on vacation, you can check him out at Gimzak on the Instagrams.
Yep, I'll have to upload all the pictures now.
So thanks everybody for finding us. We will talk to you all next time.
Bye.